Chapter 1: The Grand Heist. In the heart of New Gotham, a sleek figure moved like a shadow through the towering halls of Stark Industries' black site facility. Iron Cat wasn't born with power, she took it. Using a combination of stolen blueprints, expert-level hacking, and pure nerve, she infiltrated one of the most secure tech vaults on the planet. The prize? A cache of prototype technology, including the AI core that would become her closest confidant, Felix. With alarms blaring and security drones swarming, she made her escape, a daring leap off the rooftop in an exosuit barely held together. That night, Iron Cat was born. But escaping was only the beginning. Iron Cat's new technology was powerful, but incomplete. Over the next several months, she honed her skills, testing the suit's limits while refining its capabilities. The exosuit allowed her to leap across rooftops effortlessly, the built-in retractable claws could tear through steel, and the energy whip extended her reach far beyond what any thief had ever dreamed of. Felix, her AI butler, helped her debug and optimize every function. Each night was spent perfecting her craft, each heist a stepping stone to ultimate mastery. Yet, with every step forward, she attracted more attention, not just from the underworld, but from those who had built the technology she had stolen. Chapter 2: Prowling the Shadows. With her new tech, Iron Cat built her first true suit, an elegant fusion of stealth, speed, and lethality. She tested it on the underworld, hitting high-end criminals and corrupt billionaires who hoarded power and wealth. The authorities labeled her a menace, but the streets whispered her name with admiration. Still, Iron Cat was not a hero, she had no cause, only the thrill of the hunt. Felix, ever the voice of reason and snark, urged her to choose a side, but Iron Cat refused. She was free, and that's all that mattered. Her crimes became legend. With each successful job, she upgraded her arsenal, a suit with chameleon-like camouflage, an enhanced energy whip that could cut through reinforced walls, and an improved stealth module that rendered her almost invisible to modern surveillance. Every mark she chose was carefully selected, powerful figures who thought they were untouchable. But while Iron Cat reveled in her success, she failed to notice the silent storm brewing on the horizon. A hunter was coming for her, and he had the backing of the very corporations she had been targeting. Chapter 3: The First Rival. Her exploits didn't go unnoticed. A rival emerged, a tech-powered bounty hunter named Warhound, hired by corporate giants who wanted their stolen tech back. Warhound was ruthless, armed with military-grade firepower and a personal vendetta against thieves. Their first battle, a high-speed aerial chase across New Gotham, ended with Iron Cat barely escaping, her suit's stealth systems failing at the worst moment. For the first time, she felt vulnerable. She needed better tech, better weapons. And for that, she'd need another heist. Felix ran extensive analysis on Warhound, uncovering his weaknesses and past failures. He wasn't just a mercenary, he had once been a protector, a hero, until he had lost everything to betrayal. Iron Cat saw something familiar in his story, but sympathy wouldn't save her. As Warhound closed in on her every night, she realized she needed to fight smarter. Felix suggested laying a trap, turn the hunter into the hunted. It was a risky move, but one that could tip the scales in her favor. Chapter 4: The Vault of Secrets. Felix traced the next big score, a hidden weapons cache beneath the ruins of an old Wayne Enterprises facility. Iron Cat infiltrated the site, dodging automated defenses and unearthing a forgotten project, advanced nanotech armor, designed for stealth and adaptability. But she wasn't alone. Warhound had tracked her, leading to a brutal showdown underground. This time, Iron Cat didn't just run, she fought, using her newly integrated energy whip to disarm him. Warhound barely escaped, but Iron Cat left with more than just new gear. She found files linking her tech's origins to a shadowy group called the Syndicate. The deeper she dug, the darker the truth became. The Syndicate wasn't just any criminal network, they were the architects of New Gotham's black market tech trade, dealing in weapons, AI systems, and cybernetic enhancements. And now, they wanted Iron Cat either working for them, or permanently erased. With her newly acquired tech, she prepared for the inevitable showdown. She might have been a thief, but she refused to be anyone's pawn. Chapter 5, Chasing Ghosts. The Syndicate controlled New Gotham's underground tech trade, and now, they wanted Iron Cat eliminated. Assassins came for her in the night, drones swarmed her hideout, and encrypted messages taunted her. Felix worked overtime decrypting stolen files, revealing a chilling truth: the Syndicate had orchestrated the very heist that led to Iron Cat's creation. She had been a pawn in their game all along. Enraged, she set her sights on their leader, the Black Jackal. The Black Jackal was more than a criminal mastermind, she was a ghost, an enigma who had stayed in the shadows for years. Iron Cat found herself playing a dangerous game, deciphering clues left behind by those who had dared to challenge Jackal before. Each lead led her deeper into a web of deceit and danger. Felix, though unshakably confident, warned her that she might be stepping into a trap from which even she couldn't escape. Chapter 6, The Predator Becomes the Prey. With Felix guiding her, Iron Cat struck at the Syndicate's operations, dismantling their networks one by one. But the Black Jackal was always a step ahead. In a daring move, she lured Iron Cat into a trap, overriding Felix's systems and locking Iron Cat in a digital prison. Trapped inside her own suit, her past came rushing back. The thrill of the heist, the price of stealing power, the loneliness of a path chosen by deception. But Iron Cat was no one's prisoner. Using an emergency failsafe, she crashed the system from within, forcing a hard reboot. When she awoke, Felix was barely functioning, but she was free. And now, it was personal. Chapter 7, 9 Lives, 1 Chance. Iron Cat barely had time to recover before the Black Jackal made her next move. The Syndicate launched an all-out assault, forcing Iron Cat to push her suit to its limits. Her enhanced nanotech armor could withstand bullets, but against the Jackal's latest creation, drones capable of neutralizing her stealth systems, she found herself struggling. Felix, still suffering from the cyber attack, could only provide partial assistance. Every move felt like a desperate gamble. Chapter 8, The Final Gambit. Iron Cat stood on the rooftop, overlooking the dark, sprawling complex of the Black Jackal's stronghold. She had been planning this for weeks, but now, standing before it, the weight of what was about to transpire hit her all at once. Felix, still reeling from the recent cyber attack, barely functioned, but Iron Cat's will was unshaken. She could not afford failure, not now. The Syndicate had to fall. Slipping into the shadows, she infiltrated the facility with precision, her stealth suit barely making a sound as she bypassed the guards, cameras, and security systems. Her mission was simple: destroy the Black Jackal's operations and dismantle the heart of the Syndicate once and for all. However, the deeper she went into the labyrinthine compound, the more she realized that the Jackal had anticipated her every move. Traps, advanced surveillance, and hostile drones were everywhere. Every room felt like a pressure cooker, and Iron Cat's heart pounded as she darted from corner to corner, trying to stay one step ahead of the deadly game the Jackal was playing. Her suit was pushed to the limit as she hacked through doors, disabled traps, and used her energy whip to cut through barriers. Yet, there was a sense of unease gnawing at her. The Black Jackal wasn't just a criminal, she was a mastermind, and this stronghold was her domain. Iron Cat knew that at any moment, she could walk into her own death. As she reached the inner sanctum, a chilling voice came through her comms: "Welcome, Iron Cat. I've been expecting you." Chapter 9, The Last Stand. The Black Jackal's voice reverberated in the air, a cold, calculating tone that sent a shiver down Iron Cat's spine. The doors before her opened, revealing the heart of the Syndicate, a vast command center filled with monitors, advanced weaponry, and a ring of armed mercenaries. At the center, in a sleek black chair, was the Black Jackal herself. "You've made it this far," the Jackal said, her lips curling into a smirk. "But now, you'll learn why you should never have crossed me." In an instant, the mercenaries lunged, opening fire. Iron Cat activated her suit's defense protocols, her nanotech armor shimmering as it absorbed the blows. The air was thick with tension, the sound of energy blasts and footsteps echoing in the expansive chamber. Felix's voice cut through the chaos, warning, energy levels at critical capacity. "Suggest retreat." But retreat wasn't an option. Iron Cat leapt into the fray, using her energy whip to disarm foes and claws to incapacitate them with surgical precision. She was a whirlwind of motion, her every strike calculated, her every dodge seamless. Yet, despite her prowess, the numbers were overwhelming. The Jackal had prepared for her arrival. Finally, it was just the two of them. The Black Jackal rose from her chair, her figure imposing in the dim light. "Impressive," she said, her eyes glinting with malice. But not enough. With a sudden swipe, she launched a barrage of nanotech-enhanced drones at Iron Cat. They swarmed her, cutting through her defenses, disabling her suit's stealth capabilities. It was the fight of her life, a battle where every moment counted. Chapter 10, The Shadow's End. The final showdown was a blur of motion. Iron Cat's heart raced as she faced the Black Jackal, the last obstacle standing between her and the end of the syndicate. Her suit was damaged, the energy whip malfunctioning, and Felix's voice was little more than static. The Jackal was ruthless, using every trick and every weapon in her arsenal to overpower Iron Cat. But the thief-turned-hero wasn't about to give up. With every ounce of strength, Iron Cat dodged the Jackal's attacks and fought back with a renewed sense of purpose. Memories of her early heists, of the thrill of the hunt, of Felix's guidance, they all came rushing back. She had started this journey alone, but now, she had a purpose. In a final, desperate move, Iron Cat used the last of her suit's energy to launch a devastating counterattack. Her claws raked through the Jackal's defenses, and in the chaos, she managed to disarm the mastermind. As the Black Jackal fell to the ground, defeated, Iron Cat stood over her, breathing heavily. It was over. The syndicate had crumbled. Felix, though barely functional, spoke once more, mission complete. But victory came at a cost. The damage to Iron Cat's suit was irreparable, and Felix's systems were compromised. With no time to lose, she made a painful decision. To protect herself and those she cared about, Felix would have to wipe his memory. As Iron Cat walked out of the ruins of the Syndicate's stronghold, the city's skyline stretched out before her, vast, ever-changing, and full of uncertainty. She had no idea what the future held. But for the first time, she didn't need to. Iron Cat had become something more than a thief. She was a legend, a shadow that would always watch over New Gotham.